are listening to Mortgage Cowboys, the show where the mortgage and finance world gets real.
We cut through all the bullshit and tell you what's happening in today's market.
Every week, we break down the trends, the myths, and the moments that can make or break your next deal.
So grab a drink, a smoke, and let's ride.
This is the Mortgage Cowboys.
Today we have a special guest. Her name is Priscilla Coon.
Hello.
Priscilla Coon.
That is my name.
You're not related to this guy, are you?
Something like that.
So we relocated from California, and we brought her on just to kind of, from her aspect, just how it was for her transitioning and what she is doing now. So tell us, what made you move to Idaho besides your crazy husband?
What do you mean? You forced her.
Yeah.
Exactly what I was going to say. Gosh, yeah. I mean, that's the gist of it, my crazy husband. All I can say is I think it was for the best. I haven't looked back yet. It's still very new. It's a big change. We come from a very small community, super small valley. Everyone knows each other. Born and raised there. So first time ever leaving Imperial County, leaving home, leaving my family, some of our kids. So,
Adult kids.
yeah, big change. But it's been nice. It's been an improvement for sure. Just everything. I mean, the quality of life, activities to do as a family, lots of more date nights, I would say. I think we spent the whole first year just kind of dating each other again. So that's been a big change. It's been nice so far.
She's still dating you?
Unfortunately.
Are you kidding me?
It's probably what she thinks.
She thought this was a new life somehow.
So you, in California, you did staging. And when you moved to Idaho, you expanded. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it was a big change. Something that I always kind of aspire to do. I, in fact, had a lot of accounts that I would follow on Instagram from designers in this area. They would partner up with local builders, and they would design parade homes, and then they would go and do the interiors. So that was something that I was kind of fangirling over back home, and it never kind of dawned on me that that could somehow be in our future. So it's just kind of amazing how you subconsciously kind of manifesting your life. Well, at least in my case, that's what happened. So in California, we were doing some staging. It wasn't to the scale that I really wanted to do. What I really wanted to do was incorporate all new furnishings, higher end furnishings. So I've gotten an opportunity to do that here. So we've gotten to introduce some of our abilities in that regard with the new furniture. And so it's all new inventory. We work with high-end suppliers. So a lot of the furniture that you see like in big chain stores, Pottery Barn, West Elm, Crate and Barrel, we're able to introduce those pieces. And you see them when you go through like parade homes. You see them featured there. And then one big thing that I would like to incorporate here is do like full installs. Like if you're buying a brand new home and you need someone to go in there and kind of design your space and your layout, I would love to come in and be able to design that for you and then order the furniture and install it for you and do like a big reveal. That's
a great segue. So you're talking about, so let's back up with like what staging is, like what that means. So when someone has selling a home, sometimes they've moved out already and it's completely vacant, right?
Those are the best.
Yeah. So you have a home that's on the market for sale. It's an empty canvas other than what you see. And then this is where staging comes in, right?
Yeah, so having a background in real estate, I get kind of like the best of both worlds. So I say that vacant homes are the best because when buyers walk into the property, they're not wanting to look at our decor and like your own personal living situation. They want to be able to walk in that door and picture themselves in it, picture their, their own style in it. But staging adds like a little, kind of like the cherry on top. So rather than debuting a completely vacant home on the market, if you go in there and strategically stage it to where it's like a wow factor, it's appealing, it brightens up the space, it's fresh, it's modern, that allows them to just like feel even more, just I don't know what the word is.
Attached to it, or they can see themselves there.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it happens all the time when you're walking through model homes, right? It's got all the upgrades, it's clean, and it's show ready. So that is what staging does. It adds that element to where it's like, wow, this is what it could be.
What it could look like. Yeah. Good point. When you go to look at people might go to walk through new homes and look through new homes. They go look at the models, and then it looks like, out of a magazine sometimes, with all the things. And then the actual home itself, if they bought it and they walk in and it's just like a box. It's just got white walls and, and the things that are in there, but nothing, no decor, no furniture, no anything, no upgrades or none of that stuff in it. So I'm sure staging makes a giant difference in giving somebody the visualization about what it could look like.
Yeah, it's huge. It's especially in real estate sales. It's a huge factor. We tend to see homes that are staged sell for a lot quicker, possibly a lot more than homes that are just completely vacant or homes that are occupied. Those are tough. Homes that are already occupied, but even if you do just like a kind of an assessment of the current space when homes are occupied and you declutter down to the bare bones,
Yeah.
I mean, even that's going to work towards the seller's benefit.
Well, you both are real estate brokers. And so like if you're going to say, for example, you're going to take a listing and you go
I'm a
out
lender.
and lenders.
I'm a mortgage cowboy. I don't know what you're talking about.
Let me put on my glasses so I look like I'm as smart as Mark. So from that side of it, if you take a listing, you go in and you first look at the home and I'm sure often you're like, okay, you've got way too much stuff in here. And then there's certain things you've got to do to get that property market ready on a furnished home when somebody's in that spot, right? So there's that element of it. And then this is like a whole nother different level of, not having to do that whole declutter situation like what you're talking about.
Yeah, I love vacant homes. When I'm doing a consultation and the client lets me know like it's going to be cleaned and it's going to be ready for you, it's completely vacant. Those are the best because I'm able to see the space. So once I walk it, I'm able to get a feel for it and see what would work best. We start with the base layer, which is always accent rugs because they just add that home-like layer
Sometimes
to
the
it.
smallest things.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes the smallest things can make like a big difference, and somebody would have even thought of that.
Area rugs are a big statement piece because you're able to either go really neutral if you're trying to brighten up the space. Like, for example, if you have like really dark floors and the room feels a little dark and dingy, you can go lighter on the area rug, and then that just kind of starts your foundation there, and then you can build up with the rest of the textures, your seating, your accent chairs, things like that, throw pillows, things like that. You're able to introduce different textures and colors in that way with those types of things. When you're working with the space that needs a little bit more of a fun feel, you could go really creative with the area rugs as well. You could do checkered patterns and you could do some really fun colors, but still keep it pretty neutral because you don't want to make it too curated to where it's like too specific for the home.
For one style or one. I imagine the architecture has somewhat to do with it too.
Yes.
If you have a traditional home or a very modern architecture type home, you're going to use some different things that more kind of correlate with what that is.
Yes, we did a staging. It was a pretty big home. It was a tri-level home, so I had a basement and then the main level and then upstairs. It was a kind of an older home and it was a little dated. Some of the finishes were pretty traditional, but even with our style of, because I'm pretty transitional in our style, we were able to make that space feel kind of renewed and young and have like a clean, crisp feel
Freshen
to it.
it up.
Yeah, when you would walk into it,
Yeah.
and it's amazing what the furnishings can do. So staging played a key role for that sale.
A lot of people don't have, a lot of home buyers don't have, they might know what they like, but they don't know how to get there. And so they wouldn't know what to have done to make something like that. But by walking in somewhere and going, oh, that I like that. I like that. You know, that's a giant in being able to have that skill, I guess, that knowledge about how to set that up where people wouldn't otherwise have known how to make that look like that.
For sure.
Yeah. So I can see where it starts with staging, and then from that point, because the staging is temporary. That's setting the home up for while it's being marketed, while it's being listed. But then I hear where you're going with that is after the fact. That stuff's all going to be how it looks. They're going to look at it. I fall in love with this house. I want to buy it. They buy it, but all that stuff's going to be gone, right? And so then therein lies what you're saying is the opportunity to move forward with that borrower, maybe doing interior design to either not put it back how it was where they walk through it, but like take that vision and carry it on with them going forward to keep them with what they fell in love with that home about.
Yeah, I think the perfect buyer for that would be somebody that's buying a brand new construction and potentially relocating from out of state, because those type of buyers tend to have a little bit more cushion with their time frame. So if they're buying new construction and they're kind of giving us free reign, like here, just kind of replicate what you did with your staging, or let's work on a design so it's something more my style. We're able to basically kind of replicate that for them, and then they're able to just come in. They don't have to worry about that. So a lot of the like new construction, it kind of works for that. It gets a little tough when it's like a resale and, you know, they're occupying it right away. I would say for that, just take your time with it. Don't try to put even more pressure with, you just recently moved, you just recently closed on your sale and you're in there now. I would say just kind of take your time to where you're living there. You kind of have a good feel for the space, and then really kind of will decide what your needs are for that space. How do you want your family room layout to be? How do you feel about your primary bedroom, and what type of finishes will you have, your flooring? And then paint color is a whole different topic. That's a whole nother aspect to introducing kind of it just finishes a space, really. The paint's really important.
Well, and that applies whether it's a resale or a new home, because new home's just going to come white usually. So there's that. And a resale home is going to come where the color may or may not be
what you want
to begin with. So yeah, I can totally see where that ties together.
Paint allows you to. So if you're working with a budget and you have budget restrictions, paint's the I guess you get like the most bang for your buck with paint, because you can color drench a room and then that just totally changes
it. That's
everything.
your back. Like I guess
Yes.
that's your backdrop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the feeling probably too, whether it's a
Yes.
warm thing or a bold thing or a toned down thing or whatever.
Yes. And my advice whenever I have clients or friends of ours or whoever asking for advice on paint is don't go cheap on the paint, especially if it's going to be like your backdrop or your focal point, or if it's going to be in a space that you're always in, an office, your family room.
This
Paint.
lady has spent like $150 a gallon on paint. She don't go cheap on paint at all.
But it makes a huge difference, especially when you play around with lighting and the sheen and the way the paint will lay on the walls, whether your walls have textures.
Yes.
All of those little details make a big difference. And you can see it because when you walk through like these beautiful new construction homes that are staged, you can tell the details. You can see whether or not they went smooth texture on the walls. You can see whether or not their paint is a flat or a matte sheen. So all of those things
Make a difference.
Yes.
Sure. The more the heavier the texture on the wall, when you tie the paint into it, the higher the sheen on the paint is going to make the texture look heavier and heavier and heavier. Yes. So you can I can see where you can use paint to either tone down the texture or build up the texture one way or another within the sheen in the paint.
Yes. So in my experience, the more texture you have on the walls, the higher the sheen you go, the more it's going to show. So stay away from anything like a semi-gloss, anything with the gloss. I would say go more muted.
If it's textured.
Yeah, if it's
or if
textured.
it has, and the heavier the texture.
Yes.
The heavier the texture, the more you need to mute down.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's going to look like stucco.
You're going to see every imperfection on the walls, and you don't want that. You want to be able to see the color when you walk into that room and not the texture. Mm-hmm. So if you mute it out with a matte or a satin or even eggshell, I don't recommend flat because if you have little ones at home, you don't want flat on your walls.
Oh, yeah. You can touch.
Yeah.
Just touch the wall with the oil in your hand or whatever, and then
you're done.
There's your handprints.
Yes.
Yeah.
How long have you been, since we're new to Idaho, how long have you actively been doing the staging?
Not long. I think we were up and running within 6 to 8 months, something like that. We got all of our inventory. I was super excited about that. One of our biggest vendors for that is Four Hands. So we have Four Hands Furniture, and you'll see it. You'll see it like I said, in stores like Pottery Barn, etc. But you'll also see it when you walk through like Parade of Homes. You'll see those pieces, and that's something that I'm able to recognize. So about 6 to 8 months, I think we were up and running with our inventory. We had a big commercial project. That was one of our first projects where we went in there and installed a layout for a big open space where a team of agents, it was for a real estate office, can work out of. So it had to be functional, it had to be durable, it had to be comfortable, and then provide a space where they can collaborate. So we went in there and we played around with that design. We were able to do plaster on the walls. That added a whole different feel to the space. Even though it had like the commercial, what do you call those ceilings?
Drop ceiling?
It had a drop ceiling, and we couldn't touch that. But with paint and things like plaster, we were able to just kind of transform that space. And then we finished it with all new furnishings and styled it for them.
Awesome.
And you have, speaking of Parade of Homes, you have something coming up in regards to that, don't you?
Yeah, so that kind of goes back to just kind of manifesting that. I think the first visit to Idaho was during a fall Parade of Homes event. We came specifically for that. We were invited by our friend. We got to stay out near Hyde Park. We got to ride around town with e-bikes, and then we attended a fall Parade of Homes, and we visited several super luxury high-end homes. And they just go all out. Like, oh my gosh, they had like barrel ceilings in the walkway. in the interior. They had super fun featured accent walls. It was just crazy, like the details that go into these homes. And on the way back home, we're on the plane, and I'm just kind of sort of dreaming this. And
Your head's spinning.
yeah, my head's spinning. And never in my wildest dreams did I think like, oh my gosh, I'm ever going to have an opportunity to
Do
stage.
that.
Yeah. So it kind of just, things worked out. Some of our coworkers referred us to a builder that was looking for a stager. So we're scheduled for a spring parade
of
home. We're doing one. I don't think I'm ready yet for like the big
Just to throw it out there, she was offered two
homes.
and for a parade of homes, and she turned it down because she did.
Because I'm chicken shit.
Well, that you have to. The other thing is you have to, when you stage. Sometimes it may be like main living space, a couple of, not the entire home top to bottom, every square foot. But then when it's parade of homes, you have to do the entire home, every bedroom, everything, everywhere.
Yes, they have guidelines, the builders, to participate in a parade, and you have to kind of check off those boxes. So it's every bedroom, as opposed to a stage for like a new listing where normally you're only doing the primary bedroom. For the parade, it's every space. So every bedroom, every living space, whether it has an office or a den, dining, you're styling the kitchen, even the pantry. So it's something different. I'm excited. I'm really scared out of my mind, but I'm sure we'll
pull it off. Yeah, that's huge. That's a lot. You've got to have a lot of inventory. You have to have things to be able to basically outfit an entire house.
Yes.
Like someone's,
living in
can live there.
Yeah.
Well, my bank account reflects that she has enough to furnish a whole house.
You have a home and you have enough stuff for like many homes.
So in essence, what you're saying is that I pretty much made your dreams come true?
Oh my gosh. Yes. Mark.
Okay, I just wanted to hear it. Okay. What else is going on with you besides the staging? What in life? What do you got to share with us?
She's got a full-time job just keeping you
That is
pointed in one
full-time job.
direction, I'm sure.
That is, managing you is a full-time job for sure. What else do I have going on? Just not much. My goal is to stay busy this year. That's the goal. So aside from the studio and staging, I am a licensed agent both in Idaho and California. Back in California, we have a team of a few agents that we're still mentoring. So kind of going back and forth. We just went back to California and set up a vacant home to hit the market there. So we did a light stage for that. And then here, just the other day, we staged for an agent that's has now hit the market with their listing. So just kind of like Mark says, you gotta have different baskets that you're dropping your eggs into. So
Drawn from?
yeah.
What else did I want to ask you that I wanted it to be on camera? I can't think of it right now. Can you?
Think of what you were asking?
Yeah.
I don't want to get in your head.
You really?
Be terrified.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Not that, but where can they find you if they want to reach out to you in regards to staging or anything like that?
You can look us up on Instagram. So we do studio.p.m. That's our Instagram handle. You can Google us. So we're on Google. We're listed as a business there. You can drop my number here.
Studio PM. Drop that in.
Yeah.
Studio PM.
Yeah, you can just Google Studio PM. We're based in Meridian, so hopefully you'll be able to find us there.
Okay. And then let's do some this or that.
This or that. Okay.
Yeah. So do like a this or that. Say
This or that. This or that.
okay. So I'll say one thing, and then you'll say another, another one, and then she'll pick one. So, like, I'll say Coke,
Huh?
and then you'll say
Dr. Pepper.
What?
not really.
No.
No,
You
that
say
did not
Coke.
work.
I'll say Ghost.
And then
No, I would never.
and
do
then
that.
she'll pick one. All right. So, what's one thing that you love about me?
Oh my gosh, you just so full of yourself. That you're a dreamer. I love that you're a dreamer. You're crazy, chaotic, but you're a dreamer.
One thing you dislike about me,
Oh my
and
gosh, just
no,
one
no,
thing?
no. I know the list is like
Can I weigh in here?
Yeah.
I have a lot to talk about.
besides me breathing.
We'll need another hour
what's
or so.
something that you dislike?
Well, that list is.
You're a dreamer. Same answer.
Yeah. That list is long. Let's see what I dislike about
And
you.
not
What I dislike about you? I mean, I'm ready. I'm ready to fire.
I know. So kind of keep it to a very minimum so it doesn't outweigh the
She's gonna
what
get her
you
phone
love.
out and be like, "Hold on, I made a long
made a
list
list.
earlier.
Yeah.
I was ready."
She's
for
like,
this
I
one."
was prepared. I knew you were going to ask this.
That you procrastinate. You procrastinate. That I do not like.
It's not procrastination. It's just under
Lord.
pressure.
No, you gotta wait. You need to wait a long time to give her an answer for that one.
It's under pressure. I work better under pressure.
Okay.
And not everyone operates the same, which I understand. So who do you like to work with in regards to, because you said you're a real estate agent or broker, who do you like to work with? Do you like work with first time buyers? You want like people that are in investments? What do you find joy, or what's the most rewarding to you?
It's a mix. I don't discriminate between buyers, but in real estate, I think I guess my avatar buyer is someone that I can relate to, that I've kind of have a little bit of that experience. So if it's somebody that's relocating for the first time, like, hey, like, been there, done that, I would love to connect with that person. And then at the end of the day, just let them know that it's going to be okay. Because I can't tell you the power that those words had when I was like, my husband has lost his mind. He wants me to. We had just finished renovating our home that I spent 4 years renovating.
Well, we just got finished renovating a bathroom
Laundry room.
/ laundry room. And
There's a pattern there because in the home before that,
Yes.
you just got
Yes.
finished.
Yeah. So
but
I'm
that
not
was
touching this
Renovating.
that was a shorter time. That
I'm
was
not
definitely a
touching this
shorter
home.
time.
Yes. So the power that those words had from people that knew us, those that were helping us, that were with us during that time, was just, I can't tell you how comforting that was and how reassuring that was. And even though not everything worked out or was okay, it eventually did become okay. And I just go back to think of how I felt during that time. So that would be like an ideal buyer for me to work with in real estate. Now, if you're asking me like an ideal client for interiors, for staging, my best client is those that just kind of basically say, here's my credit card, here are the keys, it's all yours, I don't want to know anything, do your thing, and just let me know when I can come and show up.
Yeah.
Those are the best, and I've had a handful of those clients, and to this day, they still just feel so special about their space. They love it, and we always try to incorporate a special piece. So, for instance, I had one client that brought me in. It was a resale, but it was vacant. It had carpet. It had paint that she didn't like. It had dark cabinetry. We were able to change all of that. I introduced a paint palette for her. I designed a space for her. She worked on all that, and then when it was time for me to come furnish it, she turns it over. But the one special piece that I was able to incorporate was this large print portrait that would sit in her family room of her late son with his horse.
Oh.
And that just, I think that was the most of everything. It didn't matter how expensive the furniture was. That was the one piece that kind of just changed everything.
Did she know about it?
No.
Oh, she didn't know about it.
No.
Oh, that's
So
outstanding.
she had free reign to do anything, and that's what. So she just added that special touch to where it just
because you could put any,
changed
you could have put
space.
a painting, you could have put any piece in there.
Yes.
That's something that's like super meaningful.
And we made it. It was a print. I had to have the photo kind of digitally
enhanced.
Uh-huh.
We had to kind of Photoshop the background. There was like random things that we didn't want in it. We just wanted her son and his horse. And we were able to print it in a color palette that matched
The
that
rest
room.
of the house.
So it was
all
like
flowed.
a piece of art. Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of art,
Oh gosh.
so she also like paints. And so in a lot of the stages or staging she does, she will include like a piece.
So you're going to see originals. Priscilla Coon originals when you go
So
through
if you
some of
guys
these
want
houses.
a piece commissioned, reach out to Priscilla. She's pretty good.
That's kind of a little bonus. I don't really focus my talent or whatever there, but that has kind of come into play out of necessity, really, because I've had really tight budgets to work with when I'm doing full installs, and we need to cover large. For example, like over the fireplace is typically a really large space that we need a focal piece. And if we're focusing our budget more on the furnishings and the accessories, then it leaves me very little for artwork. So sometimes out of necessity,
I'll just paint it myself.
I'll just paint it myself.
Looks good.
But
That's
I
awesome.
have, like I said, I have a handful of clients that to this day still like, that's my favorite piece, or that was like such a nice touch. I have a client that still, every time I'm back in California, it reminds me like, you still need to come sign my piece.
Oh, I was gonna bring that up. Did you sign it?
No, I didn't. It was really, I was back home visiting a client that were designing a spa-like ensuite in the second level of his home, and he always kind of just jokes around with me that I need to go and sign his piece, but no, I didn't.
So you how many pieces do you have out there?
I did make a list of that because I can't give you a number, but it's a long list, and not every piece. It's not like I'm proud of every piece, so I don't even want to.
You might not want to sign someone.
How many proud pieces are there? I know we have two in our house.
She's
I
going to
know
sign
that.
your name on the ones that are.
Yeah.
She's not proud of. Like, yeah, that was him.
Hey, Mark, that was pretty okay, kind of.
Not many. It's a few. It's probably under 5 that I'm really like proud of. I think it gets better and better each time.
Well, I know there's 5 that you're proud of. There's only one that's signed though.
There's only one that's signed out there. Yes.
So if whoever has that one, hold on to that. You never know.
Might hit it off.
Yeah, you might hit it. You never know.
All right.
It might be that, and that's original. They're all originals.
Originals.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed yourself and talking to us, and we'll catch you later.
Yeah, we'll do we'll give it some time. We'll do a recap.
Yeah.
We'll get caught back up with it.
Yeah, this is fun. Thanks
Part
for
2 to come later.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. This was fun, and yeah. visit us on Studio PM on Instagram.
Studio PM.
All
Heavy
right.
on the P.
Heavy on the P.
Heavy on the P. Studio. You could make it capital P.
Little
Like a really
No,
small M.
she's gonna say like, "Oh, I'm just gonna do Studio P." That's what she's
That's
just
my next move.
drop me off of it.
Take you off.
Yeah.
That'll be that'll be the next one. Just Studio P.
That has a good ring too, but PM sounds better.
Okay. We'll humor you.
That wraps up this week's ride on Mortgage Cowboys.
If you got something out of today's episode, share it with your favorite friend, client, realtor, or that one loan officer who really needs to hear this.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment of your own mortgage or finance story.
Keep your deals clean, and we'll see you on the next episode of Mortgage Cowboys.
Stay classy, bitches.